Video games can evoke a variety of powerful emotions: anticipation, joy, sadness, arousal. Games make me feel a lot of things, complicated things I don't understand yet. The thrill of the fights, the sense of achievement that comes with doing the thing in the game. But sometimes I don't care about all that. You know how it is. If you just got done with a long day of doing whatever you do, you're probably not in the mood to get good or get teabagged online by Finn the Human. I mean, it's fine for a game to be challenging, don't get me wrong, but for that challenge to be fun, you gotta be in the mood for a challenge. In these moments, if I'm not down to clown, I'm gonna be looking for something with a bit more chill. Put on some music, a YouTube or two, and enjoy the sights and sounds of PowerWash Simulator. I felt pretty drawn to this game conceptually. I like spraying things, I like playing with my shower nozzles, so this seemed right up my alley. I was hoping it would be like Super Mario Sunshine, but without all that Mario stuff. And oh boy, does it live up to the hype. The game has a pretty simple story. I haven't really followed the subtext, but as far as I can gather, you're a power washer, and you're gonna go power wash stuff. You see something that's dirty, you squirt some water on it, and hey, look at that, it's nice and clean. I'm not gonna say it's the most difficult game in the world. It's not like cleaning a plastic horse requires quick wits and a keen sense of strategy, but there is a lot to clean here, and all the time in the world to clean it, actually. There's no time limit. And that's a good thing, because you're going to be doing this for a while. I wanted a game where I could just turn my brain off. And for the most part, this is that game. But there's always choices to make. A few bad decisions can turn a 30-minute job into a 35-minute job. Much of this minute-to-minute action is based around using the right nozzle at the right time. Nozzles are divided into degrees, how much surface area they cover when you spray them. Fat nozzles are real good at spraying a lot of stuff really quickly, but won't always get everything off. That 40 degree might be your best friend on the sidewalk, but in real man's country, we need something with a bit more oomph. Thin nozzles are powerful beasts. A bit of grime, not a problem. Some rust, that's actually kind of a problem, but it'll do it eventually. But this power comes as a double-edged sword. 0 degree can clean anything up, but it's gonna take a while. Most of the time you'll either be using the 15 or 25 degree nozzles. A perfect balance of range, speed, power, and precision. So most of the time I just go at the 25 and I don't think about it. My immediate fear going into this game was, well, what happens if you miss a spot? I don't want to spend an hour cleaning up all of this just to have 1 or 2 specks of dirt hiding out of sight. But thankfully, the developers considered this, and there's a few quality of life features that keeps things moving along without inciting frustration. Each object in the level is divided into segments. Each segment has its own progress track, so you don't need to look too hard to figure out if you missed something. If you clean around 99% of a given segment, it'll auto-clean the rest, which is great, because I would hate to have to go and find the individual pixels I missed while spraying some giant wall. Sometimes dirt can be hard to spot, like where is it? Why is this not finished? But thankfully we got dirt vision. You just have to press a button and all the remaining areas that need cleaned are highlighted. It's helpful, but it doesn't feel like the game is playing itself. You still gotta use your brain. It's easy to get overexcited and just start spraying randomly in any given direction. But if you do this, you're gonna be backtracking a lot in the end to find that missing segment. I spent about 30 minutes looking for this part on a helicopter because I thought it was one of these parts and not this part. I felt foolish, but it's a good reminder that with enough time, fortitude, and gumption, you'll get the job done. The best strategy when starting any clean is patience and organized structure. Clean each segment individually, make sure it's finished, and then move on. And I'll admit, I break some of these rules and get a bit ahead of myself sometimes, but the more you do this, and not this, the better you'll do, I guess. Again, it's just a little bit more time. You get paid for each segment, and this money can be used to purchase new modifications like a 0 degree spray that spins around or skins for your power washer. I bought the donut. But what I really want is a better power washer. They're expensive, but each new power washer model makes life easier in every conceivable way. Suddenly, the 40 degree nozzle is actually kind of useful, and the 25 degree takes care of what was once merely 15 degree exclusive work. If you're feeling a bit ballsy, there's the option to go buy some soaps and spritzers that take off hard to remove rust and grime. But be warned, these are pretty pricey and run out quick. You gotta use them sparingly, or you might actually lose money on the job. You probably deserve it too, you lazy bastard. It's not all fun and games all the time. It can be a real pain to hold down the RT trigger on my Xbox controller, because My hand starts to hurt. The developers considered this as well though, so there's an auto spray function. You don't even have to press a button. You just enjoy the spray. I wouldn't say there's a huge difficulty spike in this title, but things can get a bit more complicated as you move on to the bigger jobs. Some things have more precise parts and angles. You can't just stand in one location and spin around to clean all this off. You gotta crouch, jump, you gotta aim a little bit better, some platforming, all these interweaving parts. It's not as easy as it looks, but I guess it's still pretty easy. Maybe you need a step ladder. You gotta get some leverage. A stairwell. Move that stairwell over there. You did it. Some levels have additional features. It breaks up the flow and pacing of the game. You might have to think a bit more to get something done. The carousel. Right here. You gotta turn it on and off and it's gonna make this stuff spin. Now, of course, the first thing I did is just let the carousel spin. I just held the sprayer in one position and it cleans itself. That's pretty fun. You might need the extender so your stream can actually reach the mayor's egged up house behind that fence. The co-op features work quite well. People jump in, they do a job, they get out, but since only the host gets paid for all the work, it can be hard to find people willing to get down and dirty for the long run. I mean, would you be willing to spend an hour cleaning up some mess that doesn't actually exist and still not get paid for it? I mean, I would, but I wouldn't be happy about it. Then again, it's not really about the money. It's the experience, the washing itself. A sense of pride and accomplishment that can only be felt by squirting fluids on solid objects. Contrary to every statement I've made in this video, I wouldn't actually define this as a perfect game. There's still a few things that left me wanting a bit more. For one, it's not that realistic. There's no repairs, no pressure malfunctions, no water bill at the end of the month, no relief valves or unloaders, and any other things I just looked up so I could complain about it. There's no water physics either. No runoff, splashback, no refractions in the lights of the water droplets. I was kind of hoping I could splish splash in the, you know, if you were to spray a car this closely with this machine, with this particular nozzle, it would remove the paint or otherwise damage the vehicle. I demand realism in my $20 Unity games. Power washers are pretty powerful, and they generate a lot of heat, so if I sprayed my friend in the face from this far away, it wouldn't just slowly push him away, it'd just rip his face off. I get it, some of this might have been concessions to make it fun or playable, but I never quite feel like I'm holding the hose in my hand, so to speak. I should mention some of the challenge modes. You got a mode where you gotta spray the thing off in the fastest time possible. You got a mode where you gotta use the least amount of water possible. If you're really looking for that additional, challenge to your power washing experience, it's right here. This game is my go-to when it's that point in the night where you don't really want to go to sleep because it's only 3 a.m. You don't want to watch TV because I got burning on my projector. And you just want to play, you want to power wash. I think of it like the condensed essence of gaming right here. You get the same sense of progression and achievement without actually having to do much of anything. You just keep spraying, and one day things will get better. Power Wash Simulator.